Hi, I'm MacFarland, and I'm the coordinator of the Autism Spectrum Disorder, Master in the Art of Teaching, Special Education, and co-coordinator of the Graduate Certificate in Applied Behavior Analysis in Special Education.
Hello, I'm Dr. Lori Entzminger, and I am the coordinator of the Learning Disabilities Program and co-coordinator of the Graduate Certification in Applied Behavior Analysis and Special Education Program.
Awesome, thank you. The first question we received from students is, how will classes be taught?
Classes will be taught online with the addition of a weekly study group that will meet on Wednesdays starting on September 9th from 4:45 to 5:45. When we surveyed educational professionals within Saginaw, Midland, and Metropolitan Detroit, they shared that they preferred a program that could be conducted online, but that would also provide a time for us to connect once per week to ask questions, gain study tips, and practice items in preparation for taking the Board Certified Behavior Analyst exam. They also wanted to be able to discuss their current classrooms and/or caseloads and how to implement ABA strategies, not to mention obtaining the latest research-based updates in ABA. They also wanted to get guidance and support regarding the supervision hours that are required to apply for the BCBA examination. And last but not least, and certainly one of the most important, is the camaraderie and connection that such a group provides. The weekly study group will be offered face-to-face, social distanced at the Pediatric Center in Midland, and also in the SVSU Brain Center on main campus, and also at the Living and Learning Enrichment Center in downtown Northville, and via Zoom for our students and partners in Ghana, and for anyone who prefers to attend virtually.
Awesome, thank you. So yeah, you kind of explained, what will classes look like? Do you have anything to add to that?
Okay, well, so classes will be taught online. The online classes will have a synchronous and/or asynchronous session. In addition to the online content, there will also be the online or the face-to-face and/or online study group weekly, as mentioned previously.
So students are also curious about where they will be able to find their assignments.
Assignments will be posted in the Canvas platform within each module. A link to the course modules can be found on the left-hand side of the screen within Canvas. The special education faculty team sets up each course module, with the first page being the overview. The overview contains the module learning objectives and the module checklist with links to the next steps or pages within the module. The second page in the module is the reading and learning activity page. This page contains links to all of the work and the assignments for the module.
Our next question is, how many credits should a student take?
The Certificate in Applied Behavior Analysis in Special Education is a total of 18 credit hours with the weekly study group, which can be actually counts towards professional development within your district if you are currently teaching. It can also be offered for sketches. We can look at CEUs and sketches for folks in the education community and social work and so forth. The courses are taken one per semester, so each is 3 credits currently, and they are taken during the fall, winter, and spring semesters. The course layout for the Graduate Certificate in ABA in Special Education is as follows. Your first semester is going to be TE 516, Classroom Management Techniques for Effective Instruction, and that is an online 3-credit course, as they all are. Your next course is going to be TE 532, Assessment and Planning in Special Education, and that would be taken the following semester. And then your third semester of the first year would be Collaboration in Consultation in Education. Next will be TE 541, Teaching Students with Mild to Moderate Disabilities, followed by TE 628, Assistive Communication and Technology for Students with ASD, and then TE 629, Advanced Theory and Practice for students with ASD. These courses will be offered in this sequence. You are able to begin the program either in fall or winter but there are no spring starts currently.
In your opinion, what are the most difficult aspects of the program?
I'm ready for it. That will depend on each individual and their learning styles. For some, written assignments may pose the most difficulty, while others may find hands-on learning, such as the field experiences, the most challenging. Higher level advanced courses will require both pedagogical knowledge and proficiency in the application of evidence-based practices with learners in various settings and at different age and developmental levels. In our graduate certificate in applied behavior analysis in special education, studying to prepare for the board certified behavior analyst examination and taking the exam itself will likely be one of the more difficult aspects. In order to provide additional support, as we'd mentioned previously, we are going to be offering the weekly study group that we are strongly recommending that students pursue. In fact, we're piloting it initially, but this is likely going to be a course for credit down the road. This is going to be offered via Zoom and face-to-face once per week on Wednesdays from 4:45 to 5:45 p.m., as we mentioned previously, and starting this fall in 2020.
Who within the program can be identified as a resource for students?
Well, Dr. MacFarland, Professor Megan Cox, Professor Christy Owens, Professor Jessica Johnson, Professor Jennifer Woods, our adjunct faculty, and community partners are an integral portion of this certification. Several of them are certified BCBAs. Ann Rittenbach is the administrative secretary for College of Education. And she and I are the current point two folks for application, admission, and scheduling concerns.
So my next question is, do you recommend if a student is successful in the program continuing on for a PhD or continued education?
The answer to this question depends upon your plans for your career. I would suggest that you start working in a school or center once you've received your certification and start using what you've learned prior to making that choice. As what you learn in and out in the field may change your future plans, may undergird your future plans, may even send you in a different direction. So I guess I would recommend starting in the field first. And then if that's where you feel called, then go ahead and look at it.
Yeah, I definitely agree with Entzminger's suggestions on this. But just to add, I would also say that for some, a PhD is something that they are already aspiring to as an undergrad and then a graduate student. So if you feel called toward higher education at the onset of your education, so now that you're going into master's work or have completed master's work, you're not just thinking board certified behavior analyst and or master's degree, but you are also thinking that you'd like to learn more above and beyond, you might want to consider becoming involved in the research that is taking place currently within the SVSU Brain Center that we mentioned. Dr. Entzminger and myself would be happy to speak with you about our current projects and ongoing initiatives. There is a lot of evidence-based research, applied behavior analysis research, and lots of opportunities to get involved. So please don't hesitate to reach out to us. One of the best ways to reach us is via email.
One of the final questions is, what employment opportunities do you see most people following after graduation or even while they're studying?
A board certified behavior analyst within our program specializes in observing the links between a child with autism and or developmental disabilities and his or her environment in order to bring about behavioral changes. Utilizing applied behavior analysis, or ABA, one of the most common and successful intervention methods used in the treatment of people with autism and other developmental disabilities. A BCBA works in schools, agencies, medical facilities, and in homes to provide group, family, and one-to-one therapy and support for individuals on the spectrum and with intellectual disability and others to reinforce behaviors that ultimately lead to increased independence and most importantly, improved post-secondary outcomes for their adult life.
And then my final question, I know you mentioned it earlier, but what is the best way for a student to contact you?
Via email.
Yep, email is definitely the best way to reach us.